So, a couple of days ago, I bought myself something that I'm proud of owning because it's gonna serve me for a very long time. And to be honest with you, this thing is insane. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this thing is absolutely insane. This itself is an 8-inch cast iron skillet. Now, 100 years ago, people had this kind of stuff. You can sear meat on this thing, you can sear whatever you can. I've been trying to cook eggs on this. Had some luck. And to be honest with you, when I'm cooking eggs on this thing itself, this thing, you need to season this pan many times as you can. And as I'm new to this, I'm having a hard time seasoning it because of the oven, so that's a challenge. But I bought this because I've been fascinated about owning stuff where I can keep for the rest of my entire life. And that's the beautiful kind of like philosophy I've been having. So when I have stuff that lasts me a long time, I have that. When I have stuff that can stay away for a long time, I have that. And that's the philosophy I like to have when it comes to this. This thing is heavy, like not gonna lie. This is a Nuova cast iron skillet. There's three of these in here. This is the medium size. The large one is 10 inches, which is a bit bigger. And the small one is 6 inches. You can cook eggs on this if you want. You can cook your food on this if you want. You can cook anything you want. Unfortunately, you cannot cook tomatoes on this because the reason why, because what they're saying is that this thing here is actually not allowing you to cook your own tomatoes in this thing itself. So that's one of the things itself. Still, this pan is insane. And I didn't go for a non-stick pan. I didn't go for something like Teflon, for example. I went after cast iron. I went after it because I like the idea of having something where I can keep it for the rest of my entire life and I don't have to buy another one. And this pan here is the perfect example. There are pans like this is still going on after like so many years. And the fact that it's still going on after so many years is still beautiful. The handle is part of the body itself. You have these kind of like designs over here where you can actually pull something out. And I like it. It is heavy, man. Like, I don't know how heavy this is, but this is heavy. Over a kilogram. My nephew is actually like finding it heavy. And when you have something like this that's been done by so many people out there, when you have this, I like this kind of stuff. And there's some flaws over here. When you cook an egg on this thing itself, you can have some problems. You're not gonna be able to like cook your egg on this properly, and you're not gonna be able to cook it well because this pan isn't seasoned well. So whenever you have a pan and you go through seasoning after seasoning after seasoning, you have to season this pan properly. That's what they're saying. When you season this pan many times as you can, this will stay with you. And that's why I like it. I like this thing. I like this pan so much. It's just beautiful. Like having something where you can keep for the rest of your life. When you have like improved your handwriting from a fountain pen you love, they're beautiful, man. Like I find real joy of like doing stuff like this. As I improve my handwriting, people close to me love my handwriting, and I improved on it. And whenever I'm trying to cook eggs on this thing itself, even when I'm seeing like the eggs not sticking afterwards, that's the beauty about it. It's not the non-stick itself. It's that there's like seasonings on this pan. So layer after layer after layer. It's a time-consuming kind of like process. We have to like put this in the oven, take it out, put this in the oven, take it out. Even when you apply the oil as many times as you can, put it in the oven, take it out, put it in the oven, take it out. That builds seasoning. And I like it. I like it. I like the fact that I can have this for the rest of my entire life and I can keep it. But there are some flaws at this. You cannot be able to have water on this thing itself because if you got like drop of water, you have to drop it off immediately because it rusts. It's a nice pan. It's a nice, really good pan. As it's cast iron, That's what I like about it. So even though I got my own pan, This thing is so beautiful, you know. And honestly, I find it more interesting than buying needles, like buying a fidget toy, you know. I find this more interesting because I get to learn from this, by the way. I get to learn about how to cook my eggs out of this, and it's beautiful. Whenever the eggs are not sticking, that's beautiful. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that's beautiful, by the way. But there's some drawbacks, you know. Whenever you're cooking like pasta sauce, when you're like cooking other kinds of things and stuff, this will rust. And the sad thing about this kind of thing is that you cannot use soap. You have to like use a little bit, not too much. You can use soap, but not too much. You have to use hot water. You have to use a scrubber, and you can also use a wooden spoon, not a metal one. You can use a wooden spoon. You can use like metal if you want, but for the long term, think about like wooden spoons for like this to last. Still, I love this pan so much, man. I'm still. This is just so good to look at, you know. You got a pan, you got something you can keep for the rest of your life, and honestly, let me show you something more, by the way. As I got myself a smaller one here, there's no seasoning on this right now at the moment, you know. It is rough, it is coarse, you know, at the moment. It is rough and coarse. This one isn't. I can actually feel it's getting a bit smoother than this one here, so that's one thing itself. But there's another one I actually have that is insanely huge. Look how huge that is. Holy moly. Yeah. You know, I'm laughing because I got cast iron pans, man. Like, I got my own cast iron pans, you know, that I can keep for the rest of my life. Instead of buying a non-stick pan or something like else, I just find this more enjoyable, you know. This is huge. But this is a 10-inch one here. You can cook a pizza on this if you want. You can cook a pizza on this if you want. And that's why I like it, you know. Holy moly. I'm sorry. This is beautiful, man. Because oh gosh. Cause it's like this, you know. It's like that. This is basically from a brand called Nuova. I got that from them because I just like the idea of something that I can just keep for the rest of my life, you know. And even when there's stuff like this you have, where you cook your own food on this and eat out of it, don't mind at all, you know. But when it comes to the development of the seasoning on the pan where it doesn't actually stick on the food afterwards, I like that, by the way. I've been using this for like a couple of days, and I'm very impressed by it, you know. It's getting smoother now, you know. That's the best part, right? It's getting smoother. It's not getting coarse, but it is getting smoother, and that's why I like it, you know. So even though in like a couple of years, to 10 years, 20 years, this will still be with me, by the way. And that's why I like these kind of things. You buy something that you keep for the rest of your life, and you don't have to buy another one. Even though there are brands that are like Lodge, I should go for that as well, you know. Lodge. Just for like long-term durability. And that's a beautiful thing, you know. These things are insane. 27 pounds for 3 pounds itself. This thing's insane, man. This thing's insane. Oh my god. Oh, what can I cook with these exactly? I don't know what to cook. I know for the fact that you need oil and butter to cook your bacon, chicken and stuff. You cook anything you want, but the tomatoes and stuff like that, that requires you to have a different pan. So for these pans, nah, you have to use like a different kind of pan for that kind of job. That's actually like coated with like something that's like from a Le Creuset. They're expensive. Well, according to like what AI is saying, then it's worth it, you know. So yeah. These are insane. Foraging itself is actually like quite like a bit of a dent over here from like the Nuova. But the way it sounds, that's what I like about these kind of things. And the way it sounds. That is beautiful, man. The way it makes that sound kind of stuff, you know. So yeah. And because of that itself, these things are insane, man. These things are absolutely insane. So yeah. I like this pan so much, man. But if you're interested in getting yourself one of these kind of pans, just be well aware of that. You have to go through some kind of things where you have to season the pan, you have to take good care of it, you have to scrub it with something like a metal scrubber itself, you have to season it, oven it, and you have to take a good care of it, you know. This will serve you for the rest of your life. And that's the thing I like about these kind of things, you know. When you have a pan that is like able to cook food for you, this thing's here. So yeah. That's it, you know. I have pans that I can keep for the rest of my life. I should get like a Dutch oven next, so that I cook my own food in there. I can be able to like cook my own stuff in there. That's the thing itself, you know. But pasta sauce, the way the tomato sauce is, it will affect the seasoning on this thing itself, but still, you have to take good care of these kind of things, and it'll be with you for the rest of life. So yeah, these things are insane. Holy moly, man. Holy moly.